This is my, I don't turn my work short rows, German short rows. When I get to the stitch I'm going to turn on, I wrap the yarn over, I bring the yarn over the needle and I slip that stitch, and then I knit back the other way because I don't turn my work. But if you turn your work, I would suggest getting adept enough that you could do what I just did and then do the next stitch, so you know the orientation of the yarn is going to be correct, and then turn your work to work back. Alright, and this is the stitch from the end. This is the stitch I'm going to turn in. I wrap my yarn over, put my yarn over on the front side of my needle, flip my yarn, and I knit back. When you work the short rows, you're just going to knit what's there. It's going to be a kind of a doubled over stitch. When I get there I'll show you what I mean. Okay, I'm actually going to turn on this in this stitch, so I'm just going to slip it for now, but you can see how that's kind of you just put your needle through it and knit it. And because we've wrapped the yarn around the needle this way when we made the stitch, it's oriented on the needle correctly. So we're going to pick this up, put the yarn in front, slip that stitch, and that's all there is to it. Alright, I'm going to work this until I've got all of these done, and then I'm going to show you knitting back across it. Okay, here we are. I've got 5 center stitches, and I'm going to work back across the 4 increases or 4 turns on each side. So here's my first, and you just work it like a stitch. It's a little awkward to put your needle in because it's wrapped so snugly around the needle, but you get used to that. And that's not any different than. The only difference is I do exactly the same thing at both ends because I don't have to turn my work. You don't have to pay attention to is the yarn in back, is the yarn in front. Okay, here we are back at the other end, going the other way, and if you can see, the stitch looks exactly the same, only everything is absolutely mirrored. I actually skipped one right there. Can you see that? Bad me. If it were my sock, I would go back and fix it, tear out and redo, but this is not my sock, so ask me if I care. So there you are. There is German short row without turning, and it looks just like German short row. Okay, so here's the 411 on that, on German short row. Because of the way I do my heels, I do the set of German short rows, and then I do all the way across both ways, and then I start doing the German short row in reverse to make that part of the heel. Because I have such short, wide feet, I like a bigger heel, so you can see it's only a third of my sock. It's not the whole sock. But here's the deal. It makes ridges. You can really feel it where you did the German short row. There's a ridge there, and I'm a little concerned that that's going to be a little irritating. I could do both of them mashed together like that, but that's going to make bulk. So here is the way I normally do it. I just do a lifted turn. You know how you do the lifted increase? Well, instead of, you just knit those 2 stitches together and turn, you turn and go the other way, and then when you come back you knit those 2 stitches together. And I really think this is a superior way to do it because the fabric is not as, there's no kind of like ridge there like there is on the German short row. I think this is a more comfortable sock.